Mm. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so hi Karthik. Thank you for connecting with me today for discussing the DQ for week 2. So as we are discussing about the leadership values and emotional intelligence, our leaders' values and emotional intelligence. And I feel that being nimble, as the question itself says, that being nimble is a very important quality a leader should have, because having empathy, being flexible, being adaptable is one of the important things which which a leader person who's at a leadership position should definitely have. It's very important to understand, to be a good leader, you do not only have to be a good manager and manage time and manage people, but at the same time, you should be able to manage their emotions, because you're dealing with humans here. It's about managing your workforce. And the employees should feel like they're valued, they're being heard, and they are being respected at their workplace as well. At the same time, when there is a problem which comes, let's say there is a problem on the company, for example, we saw recently chip shortages happened, where a lot of panic happened in the industry, or there might be some other kind of situations which might keep arising, particularly for the company. In that situation, a good leader will always come forward and uh, you know, be there for its employees and tell them that, there is no need of creating a panic. In fact, being in a panic, in fact, he will show sympathy, he will show empathy, he will show them courage. And also at the same time, he's very adaptable and flexible. So he will be open to discussions, he will be open to suggestions, and he will change accordingly. So he will not be very strict about his policies. He will not be very strict about not changing with time. If the need of the time is that he needs to change some stuff, some things, then he or she will do it, because a good leader also is adaptable in nature and flexible in nature, and that is what being nimble is all about. One of the examples I know of a nimble leadership, or you can say empathetic leadership, or a leader with high EQ, is of Satya Nadella. Because Satya Nadella, since the time he has joined Microsoft as CEO, he has shown a lot of empathetic approach towards his leadership style. In his leadership style, he has also written a book in which he has mentioned the disability of his son has humbled him a lot, and he feels the pain of people in a deeper way now. He also showed a very adaptable and flexible approach in his leadership style. When he joined Microsoft, he showed a leadership style where he opened Microsoft's avenue to not only to Windows, but also to, like, different new technologies which are coming up, generative AI and open AI and all of that. So, like, he's a leader who is showing that we should not be confined in a box, and go out of the box as well, adapt new things. At the same time, he is an empathetic leader. I have heard of people who work for Microsoft as well, that the employee policies are really nice. And also at the same time, Satya Nadella also does sessions where he keeps an open forum where he listens to his employees. He sometimes tries to address their issues. And I think that is very, very much needed when you are dealing with in a company, because a good leader is not only the one who follows all the leadership principles, or who is very strict about rules and regulations, or who gets things done on time. Definitely that is one part of it, but at the same time, being emotionally intelligent, being having a high EQ, is an effective leadership style, is what I feel. People who are nimble, leaders who are nimble, leaders who are emotionally and who are flexible, who are adaptable, who are empathetic, who consider their employees as their own, are also very good leaders, and their companies also succeed. Another example is of Mr. Narayan Murthy of Infosys. He's a humble leader, and at the same time, his wife, she does a lot of charity, and, like, the company together appears as a very good organization to be part of, because of the empathy part attached to it. And also Ratan Tata, who is one of the biggest entrepreneur of our country, of India, and he's one of the biggest leaders. But Mr. Ratan Tata, he donates 60% of the earnings to different NGOs, charities. At the same time, I have seen him being very humble with people, and he's very, very, very emotionally. His emotional quotient is very high, is what I personally believe. So I have seen these two examples in my own country, and here I'm seeing Satya Nadella I'm seeing Tim Cook. These are some of the good leaders, great leaders I'm seeing who have that nimble approach, who have that high EQ approach. And I think the effectiveness increases, so the question again, the second part of the question asks, how might leaders value increase or decrease their effectiveness as they approach their role? And how might a leader's emotional intelligence increase or decrease the effectiveness in a leadership role? I personally believe that it definitely increases the effectiveness of a leader when they're emotionally there. But at the same time, I would love to listen your opinion and your thought. And what is your take on this entire situation?
Thank you, Apoorva. That was a very articulate discussion, and I really liked your points on assessing the environmental factors of a company and how a person in leadership should handle that, as well as quoting prominent leadership personalities like Satya Nadella in explaining your examples. And in my opinion, I would like to take this example of a company being nimble and how a person who is in a leadership role should approach that part of the firm's organization. So to be nimble is to be aware of all the changes that are happening so fast around you and equip yourself and your employers and your company around the change to be successful. And on that note, I would like to quote one example, being Amazon. Amazon is a company which is started in a garage and then now is operating as an e-commerce and a cloud computing giant. And that was achieved, and a major part of this success is due to the fact that Amazon is very nimble and it has a startup culture. One of the leadership principles of Amazon is innovate and be curious. Learn and be curious, and the other one is invent and simplify. I really like this invent and simplify leadership principle, which basically defines an employee to be very innovative and at the same time have backbone and commit and have the tendency to disagree to a lot of business decisions. By allowing the employers to be in a startup environment, will help Amazon very quick to react to a change that is happening in the business world. One of the examples being Amazon starting as a book e-commerce company, and then moving on to a fully equipped e-commerce company, and then moving on to the cloud computing business and being the most successful cloud computing business there is with the highest market share. And a lot of these achievements are due to the nimbleness of the company's ex-CEO, Jeff Bezos, and the current CEO, Andy Jassy. And their reactions to their business decisions on crucial times led to these successful growths. And another example I would like to quote is Apple. When there was the traditional phones that was being widely used, Apple revolutionized the mobile phone industry by introducing Apple 3G, which had which had a variety of functionalities like the internet, touch phone, and basically a mini computer that revolutionized the industry. And that was another example of a leader's emotional intelligence by being aware of what's happening in the business environment, as well as being ready to face the challenges and being an innovator in the industry. Customers love innovators, and companies tendency to not innovate not only once but also keep innovating throughout the years during its successful operation is also equally important. And on all these notes, leaders' emotional intelligence actually increases the effectiveness of the leadership's role because employees look up to the leaders' decisions, and whenever a company is facing an upward or downward growth, it's always up to the leaders to perceive that and explain that to their employers, and explain the key decisions that has been taken, always being transparent to the employers, and encouraging the employers to do their best even at the most turbulent times like now. And that is one of the key requirements of a person in a leadership role, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I think that summarizes my discussion. So together we have put some excellent points. I think in explaining the leaders' values and their emotional intelligence. We have quoted many big companies like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, etc. And we talked about the emotional intelligence of the leaders who are in their company and how they are achieving success using their emotional intelligence and utilizing their positive values to them, their employers, and their company. That's it from my end. Do you have anything to share additionally?
No, I think there were some excellent points, very good points regarding Amazon and its leadership style, because that is one of very good example of a nimble environment and everything. I really like your take as well on this entire question and this discussion. And I think overall we both agree with this, that it is very important, and it definitely affects the leadership style, and then a leader, a company which has a nimble environment, and also a leader who has this approach and has a good EQ will definitely has a good leadership style and will definitely impact companies' overall work culture. So I'm glad that we both had this discussion, and we both kind of agree on the similar things.
That's great. So that'll be from my end. This meeting is discussed by Karthik and myself, Karthik Ganesan, and Apoorva Srivatsava. Thank you for your time, Apoorva. I'll
Thank you for
end the
your time,
recording right
Karthik.
now.
Thank you.